Relationship between parents and children, it's never over. And it can be rocky, especially as those children grow older.
So we are diving into the most common issues that parents of adult children bring up in therapy. Here with more is Dr. Laura Saunders. She is a child psychologist at the Institute of Living. Welcome, Dr. Saunders. So it doesn't end when they become adults?
Hello, friends. Happy Wednesday. And it does not end ever. As a parent.
Ever.
Okay. All right, so you have seven most common issues parents of adult children bring up in therapy.
Let's start with, I'm concerned about what they're posting on social media, right? Often in those generation gaps, we don't really expect very personal things to be posted on social media, but the younger generation feels like that's okay. So have a conversation with your child, express your concerns, but then let them live their lives. And you're going to see that that's a theme throughout the seven most common issues that parents are worried about.
Okay. And the next one, I mean, every holiday, right? Aren't you married yet? What if my adult child never finds a partner?
So the lack of a long-term partner can be distressing. And it feels like, you wonder whether or not you've been a good role model in your relationship or in your marriage. You feel like it might be your fault, especially when your child's struggling. But you have to just hope that you did the best job that you could as a parent and that they will find people to love in their own way and in their own time.
That's exactly what my mother says. She's like, even though you're single, she's like, you have a great support network of friends. You have people who love you and care about you. So it's not so bad being single.
Yeah. All right. So just as long as they're happy, right? All right. Is our relationship too close or too distant?
So navigating the closeness or the disconnect can be really difficult, and it's a fairly common theme with parents of adult or young adult children. So whether your child's fiercely independent and they're living on the other side of the country, or they're failing to launch and they're still in your basement, hoping that there is the right amount of connection, and support to help launch them, or reach out and ask to be more connected. So there's things that you can control in terms of wanting more connection and communication.
My child is too strict or too permissive with their kids. I know my family is going through a little bit of this right now.
So there's a great urge to offer your advice.
Absolutely.
As a parent. You raise this child, right? It's a great urge, but you get into very deeply complicated waters if you try to micromanage the way your children are parenting their children. So the rule of thumb is, unless they ask, do not offer your advice. Simply be loving and supportive.
Yeah, that's a real tough one.
Then do you get to make your own rules, though, if you're the grandparent and they're at your house?
At your house, you get to make your own rules.
Okay.
Okay, perfect.
All right, number 5, I feel like my young adult child has no direction in life. Like, when I was your age, I was already doing X, Y, or Z.
I was going to school uphill both ways in snow.
I had already bought a car and a house and gotten married.
Right. So, but we have to recognize that there are generational gaps in these situations, and that the current generation sort of lives their life differently. What you need to do as a parent is make sure you're not enabling. So if you feel like your child has no direction, are you paying for everything of theirs? Or did you give them a car? Did you give them all these things so they really don't need to step into any independence or any sense of self-direction? So as a parent, you need to step back and look at how you're managing that situation and what you are enabling if your child, in fact, does have no direction.
My child is making the wrong life decisions. I worry.
So we're allowed to worry. We should have people that we should share those worries with. However, constantly sharing our worries with our children will not make them better. In fact, I launched my daughter back to college on Monday. I typed out 3 different texts yesterday and then deleted them of my worries. And I said, I'm not putting my worries onto her. She does not need them. So it is hard to do, but do not project your worries onto your children.
Okay.
Okay. I think my kid needs help. When should I intervene?
So I'm going to set aside safety issues like serious substance abuse or serious depression. So safety issues are kind of a separate conversation here. Barring safety issues, you have to look at what you might be doing to enable your child, but encouraging them to launch themselves, asking if they need your support, and if they don't, stepping back. So really, looking into what you can and cannot control. If they're not asking for your intervention, do not intervene, but also don't enable. Don't give them everything so that it makes it harder for them to dig deep into that self-direction that they need to find, or that motivation, because we can't give someone motivation. They have to find it within themselves.
And we have a number 8 here. It says, I love it when Dr. Laura Saunders blows out her hair.
And I love it when you mention that, so thank you.
It's always okay to give your adult children compliments.
Absolutely.
All right, thanks, Doc. We appreciate it.
And we'll see you on Kara's Cures, where you'll be giving us some more parental wisdom. We appreciate it always. Have a great Wednesday.
I look forward to it. Take care.
Thank you.